Okay, so before we begin, just a reminder to take these moments to close the outward facing eyes, make an intention to turn those eyes inwards, dropping the seat of seeing into the heart and center, as though part of us is reclining there now. This is like our safe place for receiving energy transmission. You can make your intention to receive only what's for you in a way that's safe and appropriate. And throughout the transmission, I would suggest keeping attention returning to notice the sensation of breath in the body and the sensation in the body as a whole. Not to name these, not to fix these, just to open, embrace, and allow what comes up as physical sensation, emotion, thoughts, or other distractions to move through the body and field as vibrations. Allowed, welcomed, and unnamed. So, with that said, this transmission is happening now because in the new moon there's a beautiful shift, a clarification shift, working very deeply within a masculine and feminine archetypes within us. And a call to an invitation to shift, to choose, to shift. Where are we the cleaners in our reality? Where are we cleaning up? Don't race to think this one through, because life will be showing us what we need to see right now. Where are we the cleaners, and where would we prefer to be the creators? Where are we cleaning up after the mess? Where are we focused on the problems? Where are we really addressing the problems that have accumulated because of, dare I say it, the unhealthy masculine in us? So please don't get hung up. These are very broad terms, and we're speaking really just to your other dimensions of your awareness. So don't need to track all this with thought. Keeping attention physical can help with this. Where are we focused on cleaning up after the unhealthy male? Where is that manifesting as symptoms in our physical reality? Physical problems, dissonance, or situations that we would simply prefer likely not to have. Subtle distinctions can be as important as big dramatic events because they're all speaking to something shifting potentially in the moment. So say, let those words be there. I really wouldn't track anything just said. Take a breath and refocus the attention. Okay, and the next words that come are, where are we shifting to? Where would we prefer to be celebrating the reborn healthy masculine into being? To create, as this divine energy within us all supports our creative, supports our creating in alignment with more of the truth of who we are. So we can recognize the truth of who we are when we realize, I prefer this, I don't prefer that. This excites me and I'm alive to it. This deadens me and I feel tired to it. There is energy for this here in this moment. This is draining my energy. You see, those are little signposts to, in our daily life, in the smallest, most minute of tasks, no matter how mundane, to whether what we're doing in our doingness is coming from that healthy, healed, joyful masculine, this ever rebirthing, archetyping consciousness. So much to focus since our 2020 collective shift, no? But always that work is here. In any moment, this work can be here. So resting in the heart, the invitation is to make a conscious choice, not knowing all of the variables, not sitting with the analysis of information, but opening and asking yourself, do I want to shift wherever this is appropriate? Do I want to shift from cleaning up after the past to creating for the energized future? Do I want to shift now? So just asking that in the heart, and now allowing anything that comes in the moment, anything at all, any feelings or vibrations, just let them be here like the river flowing past the rock. And take these moments now to really allow movement. And if there's no movement, don't chase it. Be opening to what is here right now. And in our hearts and centers, there is this still point. In between each breath, the silence, the center of every sound. And we can allow that stillness with intention, that silence, to simply expand for these moments, here now. And so we're falling into it softly. Nothing wrong or right to experience with this. Falling into that space beyond noise, thought, and sound. Letting go of needing to know what's here now. When we're ready, allowing that breath to strengthen, picking up that breath and bringing ourselves back to notice the body sitting, lying, standing, wherever we are, within its environment. Keeping the eyes closed for just a moment, allowing whatever we're feeling on the inside to be where our attention is. And where our attention stays, as we gently tilt the head downwards, open the eyes a little and take in just something, staying with how we feel inside. No other objectives in this moment. Closing the eyes if we lose that connection. And when we're ready, taking in more of the room, and letting our thoughts be there, but not acting on them for these moments, just while we come out to this little mini meditation. Resting in that comfortable silence with ourselves. Okay. There's no message or anything beyond that, so the invitation is to keep that, to take that into our day, and to check back in and keep connecting inwards. How do I feel in this moment without naming that, making that internal connection, taking a breath and carrying on with what we're doing. Just seeing how we can maintain that attention with our doingness. The reason I say this and the reason it relates back to the healthy masculine and the rebirthing masculine is that when we drop into beingness and we take a moment to pause between one action and the next, one thought and the next, we can, in that pause, rather than waiting for the next action or thought to come, let go utterly and surrender into, in this moment, I have done enough. Nothing is needed for a moment in this moment. And in contacting that spaciousness that can be found there, it puts us in a listening place so that our doingness is able to discern what action is for me now. What am I energized for? If we've got a multiple choice question for what do we do for the next 5 minutes, is it the washing up? Is it a work assignment? Do I need to go out? Do I need to call this friend? We can use these pauses to sit, let go of the need to do anything for a moment, and listen to how we feel on the inside. And if we want, this is something to play with. You can cycle these. You can, sometimes you can feel where the energy wants to flow. I'm doing this now. This is where the energy is for. This is what I'm going to go and do. Off we go. And it can help when release the mind from being the ultimate scheduler, organizer, analyzer. It can bring in a new dimension of support and inner guidance in a practical way and in the moment. Just inserting that pause between one task and another. And saying, if nothing was needed for me in this moment, I am enough. I have done enough. I have enough. Letting go utterly into spaciousness for a breath. And then it's almost when you got to the point of forgetting that you need to do anything at all, you can listen for where is the energy taking my body? I mean, you can listen to the body. Is my body being moved towards this thing that I'm going to do or that thing? If I think about doing this thing, do I lift? Do I drop? Do I feel expansive? Do I feel tight? What about if I think about doing this thing? And you can try the multiple choice questions. Oh, right, I've got 3 things I could be doing. What about A? How do I feel with A? Yes, no. B, yes, no. C, yes, no. And dowsing for, well, what am I going to do in the next 5 minutes? And it's not to get the answer, because this is like building a relationship with ourselves if we're not used to doing this in our day. But by starting to ask the question, we begin to build that relationship where our intelligence recognizes that we want to know. We want to do from a listening place of beingness and bring our masculine more into alignment, our inner archetype here in this aspect of itself, into higher alignment with our ultimate truth and soul purpose without needing to know what that is. So how do we do that? Well, we stop, take a rest, cycle through our multiple choice to-do list for the next 5 minutes and just see, where's the energy flowing? So that is a game. I suggest playing with it and seeing what comes. I'd love to know, if you do this already, what's your method for it? Because I have mine, very specific, although it changes a bit. What's your method? Does your method change? And what, more specifically, when do you get confused around this? Like, when do you get your guidance and when do you feel uncertain about whether this is coming from an aligned place or if other parts of our mind are interfering, or if we're coming from a lower aligned place than we think we'd like to be? So that's a game to go away with, and that's the question. If you have anything for me, I would love to hear. Right. Okay, thank you. That's it for today, I think. There's going to be an online meditation tonight for dropping in more deeply and going on a guided inner alignment journey. There'll be with channeled energy transmission and a space for a bit of one-to-one work at the end. So if you want to join that, the event link is on this page, on the Facebook Infinity Resonance page. So otherwise, see you next time. Thank you.